Hey guys, it's Patricia with Smart Apps here, and today I have Brendon with me, who just recently hit his first $100 a day, but since then has been doing amazing in sales. How are you, Brendon?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just a disclaimer: Brendon is not driving right now. He is in a pause car. We care about you guys' safety. Um, so before we dive into, your daily sales metrics and all of the fun stuff, how did you first come across e-commerce and dropshipping?
So how I first came across e-commerce is um, I had a buddy that introduced me to Tanner Fox and doing like Amazon FBA and stuff. And well, I saw that um, Alex Becker did an interview with Tanner Fox, and I was like, I kind of like this Alex guy. So I started watching all of his videos, and yeah, I just kind of got hooked after that.
Wow, that's awesome. So we spoke previously before we started the recording, but do you want to let us all know what your daily sales average is and those metrics that you're hitting consistently?
Yeah, yeah. So my daily sales are between about 150 and $250 a day. On the weekends, it can get upwards towards about 300, 350. And then on Sundays and Saturdays are usually my biggest days, just because everybody's probably at home. And then average about a 6 to 7% conversion rate on my funnel.
That's awesome.
And I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, Mondays are usually the slower days. Those are usually the $150 days. And Tuesdays, it starts climbing up towards the weekend.
Dang. Those $150 days, you still can't complain about, I bet.
Yeah, I
Well,
can't. I'm not complaining at all.
so how soon did you start seeing these results?
So I first joined HCOM 3030 back in September, and almost immediately after I started doing that, I started getting results. Well, I kind of got shiny ball syndrome, and was like all of a sudden was like starting to watch all these other guys, all these other, and trying to implement my own thing. Well, all of a sudden, like my sales just started plummeting, and all of a sudden by December I was making probably no sales. And I was like, well, what was I doing different then that I'm doing now? And so I was like, I'm just gonna listen to Matt. I'm just gonna focus. Not gonna focus on what everybody else is doing. And immediately after I started doing that, you guys came out with the $100 checklist. And the day after I implemented the checklist, I was at $100.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's a pretty common story that we hear. So many people get so distracted just because it is a new business and industry that you're trying to take in as much information as possible, that you go to every outlet and every source that there is, but sometimes
right.
it can be pretty damaging. So
Yeah, like you want to try and take in as much good information as you can, but it's like since I was so new, I didn't have the ability to take in like stuff that I could use and stuff that I shouldn't follow. And but now just listen to Matt using the checklist it literally made it so easy. Like I set up everything in a day just following the checklist and just went through, checked everything off, and I was like, yeah. And I think I posted in the group. I was like, don't. I was trying to help other people. I was like, don't think um, you know everything. Just use the checklist. It works. Like, don't make it hard on yourself.
I remember that post. Actually, we kind of chuckled at it just because it was better coming from your mouth than it was ours, because we can preach that all day, but nobody's gonna take it to heart. So
Right.
yeah. But that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Everybody.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry. Go ahead. I was just agreeing with you. I was just saying. Yeah. The same thing. Like, I just see all these people trying to do different stuff and all in the comments, and I'm like, don't, just stick with the checklist. Like, it works.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree. So, do you have a structured daily plan that you go by for, achieving your sales, or what took you to this level aside from, what we've taught you in HCOM, or,
Yeah. So in the morning at 8 o'clock, I get up, check how much I did the previous day. And then I'll write down I have like a journal, like a business journal, that I'll write down how much I made, what are my goals for today, and then what are the like tasks I have to do to make this money today. Like one of my biggest tasks right now is getting the 10,000 in revenue plaque. And so everything I got, all of my goals are leading me to that one. And then after that, I'll probably do some work on like my back end, like sending out emails to customers, replying, setting out different like offers and stuff on emails. And then I'll spend probably about another hour doing product research, learning about my niche I'm in and just studying it, trying to figure out what's popular in it necessarily and where it's selling the best. And then I'll spend some time just really just back in the HCOM course, because every time I go, I've watched the entire thing, I think 3 or 4 times now, and multiple videos, way more times than that. Like I've watched the self section that Alex does probably 20 times maybe,
Oh, yeah.
just because uh, that's really the checklist, and then that's the stuff that really helps me stay focused and keep myself in line. But and then yeah, and then I'll just check on how many sales I do each at the end of the day. It's kind of fun. I always keep my Shopify ringer on, and so my girlfriend's always like, "What is that cha-ching noise that keeps going off?"
Making money.
Yeah, I
That's,
was like, "It's a good thing."
yeah, that's awesome. So you seem to be pretty busy, but you have a good grip on everything that's going on. So good for you. That's
Yeah,
awesome. So what's the most obvious advantage that you feel like Smart Apps HCOM has offered you in your business?
really, there's so many advantages like that I kind of took for granted when I first got started. I didn't realize how big they were, but like you guys tell us it at the beginning of the course, but like the Facebook group, that is the biggest. Like watching Matt every Wednesday, and like you reviewed my store way back when, and I watch your store reviews all the time, because it's like even now I'm still like, oh crap, I need to change that, or I need to change that, or I need to adjust that. And and then like being able to ask questions in the Facebook group and everybody answers it, and trying to be like a community. Like it is kind of competitive. Like I'm really competitive, so I didn't want, I see everybody like posting their results and stuff, and I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be the guy that didn't make this work. Like I like watching you did a interview with Jennifer
Yeah.
a while ago. Well, she only lives probably, when she first got started, she said where she lives. She's from Utah, and I'm from Utah as well,
Oh,
and
wow.
she doesn't live too far away from me. And I was so mad that like someone just a couple hours away from me is doing so much better than me. And I was like, what? I was like, good for her, but I was so mad at myself.
Yeah.
But and then like other advantages like the checklist and like all of the mental mindset videos, nobody really uh, knows and thinks about how much like wasted time. Like I was wasting so much time. Like when Alex talks about uh, doing not doing really 3 hours of work and only getting a half hour of work in. And so I really cut out all the distractions and cut out all the, and just followed what Matt was saying and didn't try to make up my own thing and get creative. Yeah, I didn't know it was all the, like, it was way worth it. The course was way worth it because it comes with so much. It's like a community. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I have to agree with you 100% on the mindset aspect. We actually went to a mastermind of Alex's back in December, and we had like a full day's worth of just mindset talk. And honestly, we left with so much valuable information. And I will have to say, like, implementing the stuff that he talked about, our productivity has like skyrocketed. So I'm really
Yeah,
grateful and happy that he shared it with all of our HCOM members, just because, you know, a lot of you guys are still maintaining primary jobs and doing this on the side, which can be extremely exhausting. So if you're not in the right mindset, then I mean, essentially you could set yourself up for failure, but implementing the
right.
right,
No, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, and then like the smart apps, I use those every day, like
yeah,
for fulfilling orders. When I first got started, I didn't think like I needed it as much, but like fulfilling orders, like Devin's software has done awesome. Uh, and then the upsell and the bundle, I increased my average order value um, a ton just by the upsells and the bundles and the discounts and yeah, it's just made my whole process so much easier. Instead of having to buy like apps outside of it, like you're spending like $80 to $200 on apps outside of it, but Smart Apps does it all for you, and it's so convenient. Yeah, like it made me a believer for life.
that's awesome to hear. Yeah. I mean, working for the company, that is our primary goal, to make it affordable for you guys, because at the end of the day, you know, you still have your profits that at the beginning with drop shipping can be pretty slim. So that's why, you know, we want to make it affordable and like intuitive and easy to use. So thank you for the feedback.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. So you mentioned this earlier, but do you feel you got a return on investment with HCOM and everything?
Yeah, I definitely say I got a huge return on HCOM, and I 100% uh, suggest it to anybody. Like I have friends and family already that are like, how are you doing this? Like, like, how are you? Because I live in downtown Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, cool.
And like HCOM now, it already paid for itself, pays for all of my ads, it pays for my car, like it covers everything, and so I can't complain at all. And I have people every day, like at my job, that everybody's like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on? And I was like, well, this is what I'm doing, and so yeah, I totally worth it. I suggest it to everybody.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for, I mean, all the kind words. Yeah, drop shipping and e-commerce, I feel like it's such a new sector that not many people know about it. So it's cool that you got in pretty early and got to experience HCOM in all of its early glory days. But yeah, aside from
Yeah.
that, any closing statements or any last words that you have?
Um, just listen. Just listen. Don't again. I hate to preach it over and over again, but just don't get shiny ball syndrome. Like I had to quit watching other different YouTubers and just watching Alex's stuff and just watching Matt's stuff and just watching Devin's stuff. Just stay focused. Join the Facebook group if you have questions. Um, well, and a lot of questions. Just pay attention. Like take notes as you're going through the course. That was my biggest thing. Is like if I had a question, I could go back to my notes and reference it instead of having to post it and like, oh, what's this question? Oh, what's this question? Well, it's like they already told you. Just pay attention. And then yeah, just keep focused because I mean, at one of the first videos, Matt talks about the highs and lows. Well, it's like my first month doing e-com, I was like, oh man, I'm making a ton of money, and then like all of a sudden it dipped to nothing, and then back up to where I was, and now I'm making more money than I was before. So it's yeah, just stay focused, don't give up, and don't get discouraged if it doesn't work the first time. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a business model.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you rock. Thank you so much for joining me today and taking the time out of your obviously busy days. Um,
Awesome.
but yeah, I'm very excited to see your name on our plaque list. And we're going to definitely work with you and keep further communication because we'd like to get you there as well. So I hope you
Awesome.
have a great day. And thanks again for joining me. Bye,
Thank
Brendon.
you so much. Bye.